Well, hi, it's Holly, your posture specialist, back again. And I'm here to talk about posture because I don't do it enough on video. So, we're going to really get started on this. I've got to practice doing these videos because I want everyone to understand how to help their posture to improve their spine and their mind. And honestly, if you're a spiritual person, this is going to help you reach the spiritual edge as well, because you're going to be helping everything in the central nervous system to get you there. So as I back up, I'm going to show you this chair that I'm in. I like it. It's comfortable for a cheapie. Not the Herman Miller I prefer, but it suits my purpose. The only problem is when I sit in this chair, sometimes I tend to do this. And that right there is really pushing my tailbone out and putting an arch in my lower back. So I want to bring that back in by centering myself over my pelvis. And it does get me engaging my belly just a little bit. But you notice when I am centered over my pelvis, my shoulder tends to be in line with my hip. Whereas previously, my shoulder would fall forward of my hip. Now, sometimes people even have expanded ribs, really pushing the chest out. And we need to remind them to bring the ribs down, because that also puts a lot of undue pressure in the spine. So when we bring the ribs down, we also bring alignment to the shoulder over the hip. And that is a really great foundation for a good posture. Now, thinking about the chair that you're in, does it have you sitting like this, leaning back comfortably, feeling confident in a relaxed posture? I like that this one can do that, but I don't want to stay in it too long. So when I'm in this too long, I'm now rounding myself, rounding my back in that slump sort of posture. And it's okay for the short term, but I also want to change my position, move, and give my body a rest. And that's why getting into this more upright posture is going to help me. This is all the basics of sitting and being in a decent posture throughout your day. You're going to change. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to be looking at things. I'm going to be really intense. Now look where my neck is when I do that. It's really forward, and that can then change and adapt my spine. So I'm going to feel it. And at some point, I'm going to want to bring my head back in position. If your computer is too high or too low, we need to adjust that, right? So for me, my eyes are hitting center on my monitor, and this makes it a good level for me to sit at while I'm in good posture. Unfortunately, my feet are not touching the floor very well, so I need a footrest to help me with that. And that's where I can be very comfortable seated in a good posture at my desk looking at the computer screen. But again, I'm going to get in, and as long as I change and get out of it, I'm going to help my spine and I'm going to help myself. We're going to slouch sometimes. We're going to lean in the wrong way sometimes. But as long as we don't hang on to those postures, we're going to feel better. We're going to actually notice better function. And you might notice, hey, I need to squeeze. I need to squeeze some muscles and feel a little bit of tension through the body so that we can actually feel the blood pumping, especially if you're stuck at your desk and you can't get up very often. So I want you to straighten your legs, flex your toes up, point your toes. Now that flexes your calf. Now as you bring your feet down, I want you to squeeze really hard like you're pushing against something. That's going to activate your hamstrings. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your bum really tight. It's going to lift you up off your seat a little bit if your muscles are really active. All of that is a contraction, which feels amazing when you're seated for a long time because the body is desperate for those contractions. The best thing you can do is actually stand up, get out of that chair, and actually move the body a little more freely, making sure that we're not like this, bringing that posture back into good alignment. Yeah, because if we're walking around like this, yeah, it's actually pretty odd looking having that big arch with the bum sticking out or even the bosom sticking out. When we put it back into a good alignment, everything looks proportionate. And we actually look confident when we are actually feeling secure in our body. And doing this might feel weird at first, and you might not feel confident, you might not feel secure. But if you start practicing in the mirror, you'll actually notice how much better your body looks and how much better you feel. If you have some wastage where the body hasn't been used to being in these positions, and there might be weakness at your spine, there might be weakness in your glutes, there might be weakness in your shoulders, getting into these new postures can be challenging and not very comfortable at first. The question is, what do you want for yourself? Do you want to look stronger? Do you want to feel stronger? Because if so, this is the pathway. I highly recommend you find somebody who understands atrophy, understands rehab, and can help you if you need extra help activating muscles and getting your body feeling the way you want it to, looking the way you want it to, so that you can have a better quality of life. I'm all about optimal performance, and I hope this posture session has helped you.